Brother invites me and my wife to his B-Day party, but asks her to bring him one little gift, and then my brother's birthday invitation arrived like a grenade wrapped in glitter, promising a night of celebration, but hinting at something darker, something I couldn't quite grasp. Bring your lovely wife, the card read, and tell her to bring me one little gift, something special. I laughed it off, thinking it was just Ethan being his usual cheeky self, but the way Sarah's smile faltered when she read it made my stomach twist. We'd been married 3 years, Sarah and I, building a life in our cozy Seattle apartment, her laughter filling the spaces where my doubts used to live. Ethan, my older brother by 2 years, had always been the charming one, the guy who could talk his way out of anything, but his charm had a sharp edge, like a blade hidden in silk. I should have known better than to ignore the unease prickling my skin as we drove to his waterfront house that rainy Saturday night. The wipers slashing through the downpour like they were trying to cut through my growing suspicion. Sarah was quiet in the passenger seat, her hands fidgeting with the small, silver-wrapped box she'd insisted on bringing, her eyes fixed on the road as if it held answers I couldn't see. Ethan's house loomed ahead, all glass and sharp angles, glowing against the stormy sky like a stage set for drama. We stepped inside, greeted by the hum of jazz and the clink of glasses, a dozen of Ethan's friends mingling under chandeliers that cast fractured light across their faces. He spotted us immediately, his grin wide but his eyes lingering on Sarah a beat too long. "There's my favorite couple," he said, pulling me into a hug that felt more like a performance than affection. Then he turned to Sarah, his voice dropping low. "Did you bring it?" he asked, and her nod was so slight I almost missed it. My heart thudded. What was this gift? And why hadn't she told me about it? I tried to catch her eye, but she was already moving toward the dining room, her steps stiff, like she was walking toward a guillotine. The party unfolded around us, all laughter and champagne, but I couldn't shake the feeling that we were actors in a play I hadn't rehearsed for. Ethan was in his element, telling stories that made everyone roar, but his glances kept darting to Sarah, who stayed close to me, her hand cold in mine. I noticed the way she clutched that gift box, her knuckles white, and when I asked her what was inside, she just said, "It's nothing, Tom, just something silly he asked for." But her voice cracked, and I knew she was lying. I'd always trusted Sarah, her honesty as steady as the rain outside, but now doubt crept in like damp rot. Dinner was served, plates of roasted lamb and glittering wine, but the food tasted like ash. Ethan raised a toast, his eyes locking on Sarah again. "To family," he said, "and to secrets that make us stronger." The room laughed, but I felt like I'd been punched. What secrets? I leaned towards Sarah, whispering, "What's going on?" But she just shook her head, her lips trembling. After dinner, Ethan clapped his hands, announcing it was time for gifts. His friends piled presents on the table, bottles of whiskey, cufflinks, a leather-bound journal, but he waved them aside, his eyes fixed on Sarah. "Let's see what my favorite sister-in-law brought," he said, his tone teasing but laced with something heavier, like a challenge. Sarah stood, her face pale, and handed him the box. The room went quiet, everyone sensing the shift, like the air before a storm breaks. Ethan unwrapped it slowly, savoring the moment, and pulled out a small, tarnished key, holding it up to the light. "Perfect," he murmured, and his smile was a blade. I couldn't take it anymore. "What the hell is that?" I demanded, my voice cutting through the silence. Sarah flinched, and Ethan's smile widened. "Oh, Tom, relax," he said. "It's just a little something from our past." "Right, Sarah." Her eyes met mine, and for the first time, I saw fear there, raw and unguarded. She grabbed my hand, pulling me toward the hallway, her voice low and urgent. "We need to talk. Now." Outside, under the overhang as rain pounded the roof. She told me everything. Years ago, before we met, Sarah and Ethan had been close, too close. Not lovers. She swore. but friends who shared secrets, dreams, and one reckless night when they'd stolen that key from their old high school. A stupid prank that got them suspended. Ethan had kept it, a memento of their bond, and now he was using it to pull her back, to remind her of a time when he had her loyalty. He's been texting me, she admitted, tears mixing with the rain on her face, saying he misses our talks, asking for this key as a gift to remember the old days. I didn't want to tell you because I knew you'd think she stopped, choking on the words. I felt like the ground was crumbling beneath me. My brother, my own blood, was playing some twisted game, using a relic from their past to drive a wedge between us. Rage burned through me, but so did pain, sharp and cold. I loved Sarah, trusted her. But why had she kept this from me? Why had she played along? We went back inside, and I confronted Ethan in front of everyone. "What's your game?" I shouted, my voice shaking. "You think you can toy with my wife, with our marriage?" His friends froze, glasses halfway to their lips. Ethan just laughed, that same mocking laugh I'd heard my whole life. "You're overreacting, little brother," he said. "It's just a key, a memory." Why so insecure? But his eyes betrayed him, gleaming with satisfaction. Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady now. "You're wrong, Ethan," she said. "That key means nothing. Tom is my family now. You don't get to twist our past into something ugly." The room was silent, the air thick with tension. Ethan's smile faltered, just for a second, and I saw the truth. He wasn't just testing us. He was jealous of our happiness, of the life we'd built without him. I wanted to hit him, to erase that smug look, but Sarah's hand on my arm stopped me. "Let's go," she whispered, and we left, the rain washing over us as we drove home in silence. That night, we talked until dawn, laying bare every doubt, every fear. Sarah told me about the texts, the pressure Ethan had put on her, how she'd wanted to protect me from his manipulation. I told her about my insecurities, how Ethan's charm had always made me feel less than. We cried, we fought, but we also rebuilt, promising to face the world together. No secrets, no games. Ethan called the next day, his voice softer, almost apologetic. But I wasn't ready to forgive. Maybe I never would be. Family is supposed to lift you up, not tear you down. And Ethan had crossed a line I couldn't unsee. Sarah and I grew stronger, our bond tempered by the fire of that night. But I still wonder what drives someone to hurt the ones they love. Is it envy, loneliness, or something darker? I don't have the answers, but I know trust, once broken, takes time to mend. What do you think? Was Ethan wrong to play his game? Or was I wrong to let it shake me? Share your thoughts, because I'm still trying to make sense of it all.